Good evening, Admirals, and welcome to the very first session of Southridge's monthly podcast, Admiral on Air. I'm Vito Hersa,
And I'm Daniel Ramos.
and we're your hosts for this session.
Okay, so since it's our very first session, we'll first talk about what Admiral on Air is all about. So, what are we all about, Vito?
Admiral on Air is the Council's new monthly podcast that's meant to keep you up to date with the latest and upcoming events in school.
But not only that, we're also here for your entertainment and enjoyment. So, watch out for special guests and a variety of different topics. And who knows, you might even get a chance to join us in the future.
But enough of that. Let's now hop right into our session for this week.
We're starting off with literal flying colors as we will be joined today by the living embodiments of the virtues of Southridge.
These remarkable people excel not only in their academics but also in their leadership.
Now, without further ado, please welcome the special guests for this session. Former Chairman Ash Anastasio and Yuan Rance, as well as current Chairman of Southridge, Pepe Mapa. Yeah, let's go.
Hey
Nice.
guys!
What an intro, man. Thanks for that.
So, how are you guys? How you guys been doing?
Good, man. Wait, sorry you ako na una.
Yeah, go lang, go lang.
Good, man. ACADS is definitely a different world in college, but kaya so far, daming adjustments naman. How about you, Yuan? Yo, UP. We're both UP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Pepe. Pepe's gonna go to UP also.
Yeah,
hopefully,
Pepe!
dude. Yay!
Just waiting for their announcement.
Solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, school stuff. I mean, it's my freshman year in college, but I actually don't think I'm very different with you guys in senior high. It's all online setup. Nothing's new really. I'm at home. All of you are at home. So freshman year, I wouldn't say it's very UP. We'll wait in second sem.
Okay. So, this question's for Ash and Yuan. Specifically Ash, because he's been gone for Southridge for 2 years now. You guys are recent
GG.
alumni. How's life after Southridge?
Ooh. Okay. So I guess the when going to I'll talk about college a little bit more.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So definitely number one, there's a lot of differences in everything. In social, like with your friends and orgs, like student council. I think this is really interesting for you guys. You know how I guess it's very traditional in Southridge how you go through super organized, you go through an approval process and stuff like that. In UP, man, it's you have the freedom. There's no approval process basically. So your projects are up to your creativity. But yeah, it's solid. But it's really good that there's like organization naman in high school, especially since we're young. So it's solid that you guys have that guide.
Okay. How about you naman, Yuan? Your first year after Southridge.
First year after Southridge. Not a good start.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'd say, yeah, there's not much for me to tell because I'm not very different with yours. But in college, what feels really different is no activity is organized really by the school where you're forced to join. So I joined.
Mhm.
I'm apping for an org, and I really think that if I didn't app for an org, I'd have zero social life. So I think that goes to show that
That makes sense.
yeah,
That
if
makes
you
sense.
that goes to show if you don't take initiative in anything in your college life, then you really won't go places where since you left Southridge. So yeah, just get out there kagad when you get to college.
How about the
Alright.
teachers naman? Compared to the high school teachers. How are the
Ooh.
teachers in college?
You can go first, Ash.
Teachers in college. Okay, I think it's a little more, what's the term for it? Parang it's kind of more delicts in college, I feel, because whenever you sign up, okay, specifically in our college, whenever you get a subject, your prof, like you choose a prof, diba? But you're not sure if that prof's gonna be given to you. And there's like a wide range of profs that is either good, like super organized, super fun, or you could be very unlucky and you end up with the profs that are, quote unquote terror profs. Tapos,
Yeah.
the requirements are so hard. Actually, I have a prof right now. We have like 10 weeks worth of short essays, man. It's like every week it's like 15 essays, but it's good, I think. At least you can manage your time, quote unquote manage your time. But I think naman I've been relatively lucky so far. I haven't really encountered very hard, very the ones that really make you go, yo, what's happening, man? So wala pa naman so far. Hopefully it stays like that. Yeah.
How about you,
Me,
Yuan?
I'm pretty much the same as Ash right now. Kasi freshman year, so they give priority to the freshmen when you choose your profs. And
Mm.
I got all really good profs. So right now, can't complain. They're all pretty lenient, but the workload, the lessons are hard, but the profs are okay. But
Okay.
actually, coming from senior high, you start with your grade 11 and 12 subjects. If you're going STEM, so it's medyo easy at the start. That's
Mhm.
all I can say for now.
At the start
Okay,
lang. Yeah.
guess share ko lang ha. Um,
Sure, sure,
I
sure.
went I went ABM, right? Then my course now is business administration. So it's kind of like very similar. It turns out I need to take pre-calc. So we, all of us who had ABM, we have an extra subject just to prepare for pre-calc. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's good because you get exposed to their math, which is different. Their math is different, and ano naman, no grade. It's really just necessary for you to take it. But yeah, wala lang. Kinda, yung kailangan pala ng pre-calc. Should have, yeah.
Dapat
STEM
nag-STEM na, no?
people, be glad that you took pre-calc in senior high. I can't imagine self-learning pre-calc in college.
That's
That's too
true.
tough.
That's true.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
But wasn't calc also part of like the entrance tests? So you also had to
Yeah,
kind of study
yeah,
for them.
yeah. That's why right
Mm.
when you get in, I started with calc agad, basic calc, but then you'd know some stuff from high school.
All right. So, about you, Pepe, how's your teachers? Joking. All right, all right. Speaking of life in Southridge, you three have
Ooh.
had the honor of being chairman, not only leading the council but the student body as a whole. So, so this is the question. What made you want to take on that role? It's the highest responsibility any student can aim for. So yeah, what made you? I guess what convinced you? What are your motivations? You know, I think we should start with Pepe
The
with this one.
recent chairman.
Mhm.
Okay. So like I didn't always want to be part of the council, and even if I was, the highest position I'd want is like the vice chairman. Like when I went in my year as secretary, but like as the year progressed, I for some reason I just developed this like I don't sound so cliche or something, but I just developed this love for like organizing these like activities for the students, and not just like for them to have fun, but what I loved about it was um like you're able to let them learn new things about themselves. Like the Sampalok sessions, like they showcase their talents to the school, or
Oh my gosh, throwback.
yeah,
Throwback.
or the All Star Showdown that our batch organized for the football teams, and there were also performers there. So I just really loved that feeling, and that's what made me run for chairman in the end, because it's like
Yes.
it's a bigger opportunity to do that, I guess.
How about the next the previous chairman, Yuan?
What motivated me? Mine's pretty simple. Mine's just I knew I had talent somewhere there. So the same motivation that I have that makes me join orgs in college, since I have skill and talent, I go for it. That's pretty much my motivation last high school.
Mm,
All right.
okay. And then Ash.
Mm, actually, I think I can split it into two, and it kind of taps into more on Pepe's side. So, number one, I was batch rep because the previous year, and I think from exposing myself to that position, and having these, starting with a small project. So, having something as simple as a batch night and seeing it, come to fruition and seeing all your friends like, yo, having fun, yo, this really successful. There comes a point where you just look around when a project's coming into shape and you're like, yo, this is really satisfying. And you look around, this is really like this was so worth it. So I think building from that, actually, I built my yeah, just like what Pepe said, my love, and it's kind of something that's super fun for me. So part one's that it's basically more on me, but then part two, I guess I kind of want to say na, I guess when I lead, I kind of tell myself that and make it a fact for me that hey, um, there's other people that are so much more talented and so much like more capable of doing certain things. So I guess what I wanted to do was from those people that I worked with, I actually like pinpoint those people and give them the opportunity to use those talents. So I feel like actually being in, for example, lang in Father's Day, picking people and tapping into my batchmates that are very artistic or very have so much love for making merch, have so much love for contacting performers. If you place people there and all of you just have fun and all of you just do what you enjoy, I feel like it's not only me enjoying, but it's everyone working in it. So I think that's what I really wanted to give to the student body.
Okay.
Sorry, ang haba.
It's good.
May
No, no,
time
no,
All
limit
no, it's
good.
ba
fine.
to?
It's really,
That
Kala
was
ko may time
nice.
limit. Sige.
So,
it's really sweet.
what is the most memorable experience you've had as the chairman?
Ooh, most memorable experience.
You can start with Pepe again. Pepe.
Or anyone who would like to
So
share
far,
first.
Peps, with your 5 months as chairman, what was the most
Um,
favorite thing or most memorable experience?
I think so far it's probably the our biggest project this year, the Spirit Week, because I mean I guess since it was the biggest project, it's also where you put a lot of effort, and at the end, that's where you feel like, oh, this was successful, and we really like made an impact on not just the school's history, but like on the experience of the students this year and stuff like that.
Okay.
I
Very
can go.
nice.
Mine's like cliche though, but I'd say it probably is one of the memories I'd keep. Um, the simple council bonding sa laser tag.
Yeah, that was hella fun.
I've heard a
Yeah,
lot about
that was really fun. That was
that.
really fun. Like, you know, I Pepe would know, my council mates would know. I push people so much when it comes to work, but then being with them in a bonding like that where everyone's chill, it just feels so nice that you have people who love to work and love to bond at the same time. I don't see a lot of people like that all the time. That's why that's a great feeling.
Peps, where's your laser tag? Go
Dude,
na.
Online.
yo, come on, man.
Online laser tag. How about you, Ash? Memorable experience.
Yeah, I think just because, it might be a typical answer, but just because it really stuck with me was Father's Day. Like, just, very simple Father's Day. Um, basically, yeah, I think you've experienced this also, but there comes a point in Father's Day when kind of the bulk of the important asikaso is over, and you kind of reach a certain point where you just look around and you're like, yo, you can breathe. Yo,
That
this
that
is
was
so,
such a great feeling. That's such a
yeah,
great
right?
feeling.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, and for me, kasi I was kind of a very like, I think on the day itself, I was very tense. I was very high maintenance. Like I was walking around so much. Then I didn't sleep for the night before because I was in there like doing the stage. But well, I was just tense walking around, and I think it was when the authority was performing. So this is like a very big memory that stuck with me specifically when everyone is when authority was performing, and I'm still tense, right? I'm looking around the field, everyone's having fun, but I don't see it because I'm tense. Then my friends, they're all saying, yo, Ash, have you heard, we broke this record, we broke that record. Then okay, I'm still tense and stuff, but that's good to hear. Then I passed by Mr. Cheng, so this is like what was super cool. Then he's like, Mr. Cheng is like, he put out his hand to shake my hand, and I feel like that was the point where I was like, yo, maybe it is actually going well. Maybe there the loopholes naman have been like taken care of by the people I trusted. Then he was saying pa nga like, yo, Ash, look around. Then I was like, I was ano pa? Okay, sorry. I was really tense. So I was like, oh, yes, sir. Did you hear? We broke this record. We broke. When Mr. Cheng was like, Ash, not that, not that. Look around. People are enjoying. Then that's when I noticed now when you look around, it was really like a different feeling, man. It was, everything, all those months leading up to it was so much worth it. Then I feel like that's when I became a little more loose, became like enjoying what's happening in front of me. Then, more importantly, seeing the people I worked with like dancing and drinking, then just dancing. So I was like, you guys deserve this, man. Go have fun. Go have fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really a really big one for me.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess in relation to that,
Mm.
um, what what would you say makes Southridge Father's Day, the best event? Parang what sets it
Mm.
apart? Parang what would you like point? Would you like say like certain elements or goals or objectives that kind of make it
The best
ours?
Southridge event of the year, or
Mm.
Yeah.
event period in the whole world. But yeah.
The whole of Muntinlupa.
So yeah, anyone can go answer.
Mm. Okay, I think I can start. Um, sige, I'll do my best to make this concise. So, I think number one, it really, I think the culture of Southridge has made it so it's really built up its reputation. So throughout the years, like since your preschool all the way till your senior, you've been kind of bred saying you've enjoyed it for the past 11 years. But by the time you're 12, it's your turn to make something. It's your turn to let out your creativity and build something to give back. So I feel like that opportunity to give back is really like something that's very enticing, especially for the seniors. So that kind of leads into my second one, which is definitely it's not just a certain person who owns the project. By constant meetings and by constant listening to everyone's ideas, it's your whole it's the entire body just hearing out everyone's ideas on how to improve it. So I feel like what sets it apart, even though the team working on it is relatively large, there's kind of split into committees in a way na each of them has a say in how the project will go. Each of them can put their own little twist to it. So I feel like that's what's very enticing for it. Like having a big project and owning a part of it. So you can say na, hey, you know how that big project, I was a big contributor to that. So yeah.
Me, I think that what sets Father's Day apart is being able to hit not just the high school market. Our activities in Father's Day doesn't just appeal to the senior high school students in the grade school, but also to the parents, to the bigger Southridge community. And I don't know, when you include parents, it makes things a lot more wholesome, parang ganon. And it shows na kahit wholesome yung event, you can still make it really, really bongga, you know? It's not that typical kapag wholesome, boring siya.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We even made parents play Master Chef.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
event has Master Chef? That's crazy, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Master Chef was a really good activity. But yeah, things like that. Things like that. Us being able to appeal more than just the high school, grade school market.
Okay. How about you naman, Pepe? I know we haven't had
Hello.
Father's Day yet, but as your time as secretary last year.
Yeah, I think Yuan and Ash already captured it. Like it's about like the family, I guess, and not just that, but about the students being able to give back to their school, I guess. Yeah, which is gonna be tricky this year, but
Speaking of tricky, what were the biggest challenges you faced as chairman?
Ooh.
Good transition.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, oh nga no, good transition. You're being tricky. I noticed that now lang. Yeah, props to the hosts. Props to the hosts.
Thank you.
Um,
Biggest challenges.
I can
biggest
go first this
challenge.
Go for it.
biggest challenge I'd say as chairman was working with people who have different goals as you. So some people want to work in a different style, you have your own style, you know. You hear of that. But once you get into that, it's so hard to meet in the middle. But you have no choice. You're a team and no one should veto anything. So no matter what, you have to be able to compromise. And since that is the biggest problem for me, whenever I am able to compromise and we both get what we want, it's probably one of the most fulfilling things that you feel in council for me.
Okay.
All right.
I think for me, overall, it's the problem. I've noticed na after, thinking about it, I could have been a lot more systematic when I was leading in the council. Actually, the moment I joined, I got into, orgs in my college. I noticed that they have these processes na super small, but then like they're so easy to do, but it makes their lives so much more efficient and so much easier. So I feel that if I knew those simple things, just simple stuff like keeping a deliverable chart for deliverables like a task. So having a task chart and Gantt chart, the stuff like that na it might be oh sorry, is it basta checklist ganon. Okay? Checklist.
There.
Okay. Yeah, I think especially because when I was leading, I noticed I was very like much like a boomer. Like I didn't know how to do. I did not know the Excel values yet. I didn't know. Usually when I plan, I either write it on my notebook or I just type it on my computer. But the thing is, that notebook's only for you, so it might be clear to you, but it's not accessible to everybody. So the simple things na keeping processes, I think, would have helped.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Pepe.
Me?
I think
I think we all know what the biggest challenge is
I
this year.
mean I mean, like, obviously, in line with this year, it's like, I think one of the challenges is keeping everyone motivated to work because obviously it might not seem as appealing and like as rewarding, but and also at the same time making sure everyone's on the same page because I feel like that's also a bit harder now. Yeah.
So no mention of
More
the
challenges are to
pandemic
come.
or anything. Is the pandemic not a challenge to you, Peppy?
It is no, yeah, that's why. It's why those come from
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah. So I guess in relation, to the whole pandemic situation, um, this question is specifically directed to Ash and Yuan. So if you were the chairman right now of Southridge, how would you approach, I guess, the whole situation of being online, not really being physically together, like how would you approach that?
Hmm.
I can answer first.
Go.
You want us to answer your question? You want us to answer your problems for you, eh?
Peppy,
just
take
get a
down notes.
script, just
Peppy, go.
Um, I'd say in the app process, I'm apping for GMA,
Hmm.
and I think what they're really doing well, and what council can apply,
GMA, GMA.
what they can apply is kahit online, whatever activity you have, make it as human as possible. Because when you make things human, that's when people really want to join. Because I really can't handle it in the screen also. But whenever I know that I'm gonna be with friends, making new friends, meeting people, that entices me to join the activities. And right now, really, that's that's one of the only motivations I have in joining activities to be able to socialize. Because without that, life at home very
Yeah.
stagnant.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess about do you guys want more like being more efficient or like
It's up to
is
you.
this
It's how
more
you'd lead Southridge if you were
Yes.
there.
okay, I think so a little more in COVID. It's something that I think all organizations are facing naman. Transitioning and the motivation, it's a given na that it's gonna be affected. Especially because a lot of organizations, their biggest projects are physical, like concerts, fairs. So I think though that what I've realized going into college and learning from their efficient systems is investing time in talking to the people. So, number one, talking to the ones that you serve. So, I guess for you, in that case, it's the students. Just simply asking them, something I do in an org that I'm in is just to check up on them and, how they're doing. Because I bet you guys have heard stories now of how heavy ACADS is. So, simply checking up with people really helps a lot in building that connection as a friend. And aside from that, you could also make it a little more technical and you specifically ask how to become better. Um, what do you look for in this organization? Um, what would you like to see? So if you build from what they actually want to see, like your projects are based off of what they want, then there's gonna be like no friction to it, or you're lessening the friction. Yeah, so I think that's number one. I've realized that it really helps to build your relationships with the people you work with. Most especially now, online. That's really important. It's harder, but it's more important now.
Okay.
And second, it's just being more efficient. I said it, I was a boomer. Simply simply learning about the basics of organization, like productivity tools like Excel, Word, and okay, siguro for you guys start with that because that's really all you need. Word, Excel, Google Drive, just collating files clearly. And when you guys go to college, you're gonna see that there's so many more kind of intricate productivity tools that will help you more in specific areas like Notion, like Miro board. it's really cool if you guys learn about it. And yeah, those are my I guess suggestions na rin. Those are my two suggestions.
Suggestions. Um,
Thank you.
Got you,
Pepe,
got you.
there you go. But like aside from, you know, let's just disregard the fact that we're in a pandemic right now. Let's just
Okay.
stay in that scenario. Based on your experience as chairman, do you guys have any advice for Pepe, our current chairman?
I can go. This is the last question. It sounds like a finale.
Yeah, the last question.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Uh, First, if I like redid some stuff in chairman year, I would have tried to be more of a people person. So honestly, I think I gather from others and I realize myself that I'm medyo scary to approach. So given a chance, I tried to change that. I was more of a council member than a person, you know? You get that? Something like that. So if my advice to Pepe would be to balance being a person and being a chairman, if you get that. So be strict and approachable. Sounds impossible, but if you pull it off somehow, you can be a great person and leader.
Yeah.
So honestly,
Yeah.
Ash, I think, was so much more of a people person that people loved him easily. And you had a team pa, so it all worked out for you. Ako, I lean towards the strict part. And just as Ash had his Jaime, I had my Carlos and my Pepe.
Yes.
So on
Yeah.
top of
Yes, sir.
balancing chairman and person, just I'm pretty sure you know this already. Find in others the things you lack.
That's a good one. Find in others the things. Damn, bro. I like that. I like that.
Pepe, can
Actually,
you say na
yeah.
Johan? Is
Yeah,
your,
yeah, Johan's my public speaker.
How about you,
Okay.
Ash? You have
But
any
I noticed
advice?
that. Oh, I know. You're public speaker.
So, um, yeah, I think I can build from what Ewan said. So, last na to, I'll split it into two parts again. So, the first one, I really want to talk about the practical aspect. And number two, I guess, a little more on the what Ewan's talking about. I guess from a perspective of a more people-oriented naman. So, Ewan's a council-oriented, I guess. So, you could see both sides of the coin. So, practical aspect, I've noticed that it's really, from my experience, that it's really important and helpful to look at the organizations that are doing well, look at the projects that are working, and kind of benchmarking or basically learning from that. So, like what you had said, by taking a look at those organizations and especially within the pandemic, maybe something you could look at is there a specific organization that's about to pull off a successful fair? If it's really something that you guys want to do, you guys have to you guys have to put in the time to look into these organizations. How did they plan it? Look at their posts. What's their schedule like? And see if it's really feasible for you, and see if it's really, basically look at what they're doing right, and alter it, make it your own, and do it for your own project. So that's the practical aspect. You could benchmark these things na would be also very efficient for you. And I guess for the people person type thing that Yuan said, he hit home that I was definitely more people person. And paired along with being a boomer. So the system was really something I could have improved on, being more organized. I think so. It's basically reiterating what Yuan says. Number one, investing time in knowing these systems, knowing how to organize yourself more, using these simple tools. That's the practical aspect to make your life easier. And number two, investing time in getting to know your members and trying to align their goals with the organization's goals. It might seem like impossible, but there's always some compromise to it. You just have to like invest time to look for it. Na um, what's something this guy would enjoy? What's a goal that the organization wants to achieve? And you mix that. Talk to the person directly. Really explicitly make it um, a real discussion that's objective, aligning their goals with ours. So I think that's what would really help.
Okay. Pepe, you got all that?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Pep, is there
Words
anything
of
you want to
wisdom.
say to them?
I mean, you guys know that I always like approach you for help already, so thank you again, I guess. Yeah.
Anytime, man. Always. We're open.
Okay.
Even for the hosts, yo. Man, we're always here for you. Like you're hosting today, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess the final part would be anything you would like to say or any message you would like to say to Southridge or maybe the aspiring chairman of Southridge.
Mm,
Maybe
okay.
a short message to them.
Pepe, you
Short
also,
message
huh?
to the.
Yeah, okay.
So aspiring people know na kind of are thinking about running for chairman.
Yeah.
So number one, number one, put it out there. I really appreciate how you guys are considering it. It's very brave of them. It's very I guess something I admire is when people look for these opportunities and look for these um, kind of positions to take to improve themselves and to grow. So holding on to that, what's really necessary is to support it and train, kind of practice the necessary skills of a leader. And this is just simple, like number one, emotional intelligence, basically knowing if someone's burnt out. Example, if someone you're working with is really unmotivated, finding a way to, in a humanly person, in a humane way, to motivate them and to show that you do care for them. um okay, I think I can go with an example. So for example, like in our org now, and with the bad like disasters that's happened and super heavy schoolwork, there comes a time when you have to assess like achieving your goals and being human. So with everything being heavy, being human really triumphs over that. And so for I guess for that week, we stopped all our operations and just let people rest. So yeah, um, I think okay, I kind of branched a lot from that, but number one, I really like how you guys are running and are planning to run. This is definitely an opportunity for you to grow. And number two, um, just know and research on what comes with it. This is a service. This is, yeah, you're kind of a servant to the school. So think of yourself that way. You're not this boss. You're serving the school, and you're gonna be that person who's gonna spearhead giving back to the school.
I like that.
Gotcha, man.
You, and how about you? Any message?
I think I can go if you're
Yeah,
done
Babi
with
can
it.
go first.
I was gonna say that so like I agree with like Ash and Yuan, and this whole talk is all about how the chairman has to be like the point of unity. He has to know when his team members are burnt out or are not motivated. He has to learn how to um, organize everything, but at the same time, like who's gonna be checking up on him? So for me, I think one really important thing is having a group of people that you can always like turn back to, like your family or like a close group of friends. And I mean, I'm happy that I kind of found that this year with the council plus some other seniors. So I think that's also something really important to keep in mind because you're not always. I mean, it's gonna be hard at times to like stay upbeat and stuff like that. So you need people to always turn to, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Ash and Peppy already covered the EQ part with the group. So I would say compliment that. Make sure that if you want to run, make sure that you love work. Hindi yung all fun lang. Because we want to avoid that in someone who's gonna lead a bunch of people, who's also gonna lead a bigger bunch of people. Remember that council's not all work, and it's not just for the resume. And be ready to sacrifice lots of your time and most probably some of your other priorities. It's a big decision. That's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, the three of you, for making time to join us today. We are truly so honored to be in the presence of three great student leaders of Southridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, maybe
Heartwarming.
yeah, maybe in some future, in some future episode, you can join us again. Yeah, thank you so much for making the time today.
Solid. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we conclude our session that we didn't film separately,
Yep.
we have a couple of announcements.
So yeah, for those of you who still haven't registered for the Jesus Centered Life Conference, this is your last chance to do so. Insightful talks from both local and international speakers are waiting for you, so don't let this opportunity pass. And also look forward to Padayon, an upcoming virtual concert this December. Padayon is a Visayan word that means move forward. It is a beneficiary concert for our teachers who are gravely affected by this pandemic. Expect performances from both teachers and students from all departments of Southridge, so be sure not to miss it out.
Also, it is Christmas season, and the
Yeah.
Student Council has a lot of projects prepared for all of you. There's Perfect Picture, the sweater and mug merchandise, the old toy donation drive, and my personal favorite, e-games.
Yeah, let's go.
You can go to the SRSC Facebook page to find more information about these projects as well as the Google Forms for the signups or the pre-ordering, everything basically.
So yeah, and that concludes our very first session of Admiral on Air. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you on our next podcast. Once again, I'm Daniel Ramos,
And I'm Vita Herse.
and this is Admiral on Air. See you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.